The one thing I can say about my aunt Sandra and my aunt Erna is that they both love me very much. I always felt it in their hugs and kisses. I had other aunts and uncles also, but they were the sisters and brothers of my grandmother, which made them my great aunts and uncles. These family members were on my mother's side of the family. They were the Howells. Espinola Howell, Beatrice, Esther, Helen, Bill, Sam, Donald, Joseph, and Ben Howell, all children of my great-grandmother, Esther Howell. She had all of those black moles all over her face with hair coming out of them. I remember they used to sting my lips every time I kissed her. She was half Indian. My grandmother met and married my grandfather, Ivory Green. They had 3 children together, a son who died during his early childhood, and 2 daughters, China C., my mother, and Erna. My grandmother, affectionately known as Nanny by her grandchildren, and called Mother by her children, and B by her sisters and brothers. Her name was Beatrice. She also gave birth to 2 other children, Elsie and Sandra. To this day, I've never actually known who their father was. However, I've heard it rumored that it was a man that we all knew as Grandpa Jakey. He was my grandmother's common-law husband, and according to my grandfather, he was a friend of his as well, and the reason why he and my grandmother separated and eventually divorced. I remember Grandpa Jakey. He was a scary looking guy who rarely ever smiled and had an eye that looked the other way. I guess looking back, I can see how a kid would find that to be very scary and creepy as well. But he and my grandmother, from what I remember, they never had a great relationship. They were always arguing and fighting. I'll never forget the time they argued and we were told to go into the kitchen. Me and Frizzell hid under the table, and the next thing I remember was hearing a loud bang. It was a gun. Somebody shot a gun, and the bullet came into the kitchen and went into one of the cabinets. But my nanny was something else. She never took any junk from anyone. She used to crack me up. I really got a kick out of watching this little lady bully people around, and she always got her way, no matter who it was. Nanny was a tough cookie. There are a few things I remember about Nanny. One of them is that she used to call me Big Boy William. I never knew why she called me Big Boy William, but I always felt special. I was Big Boy William, and it made me feel like I was older than I was. But as I got older, she stopped calling me that and just called me Cyrano. I have fond memories of my grandmother, even the scary ones, like when she used to threaten to hang us from the highest tree. Whenever we got out of the line, this little lady with the wavy hair and polyester pantsuits always kept us in line with that threat. I would go outside and look up to see which tree was the highest and imagine myself hanging from it. I even wondered how she would be able to pull it off. I think I developed a fear of heights as a result of those threats. We all still laugh about Nanny's threats, but Nanny loved us all dearly. Nanny had a thing she used to always do with a white handkerchief whenever anyone would come to visit her. After leaving, she would always have you look up to a window, and there she would be in the window, waving her white handkerchief as we waved back. I wonder if there was any significance in that ritual, because for whatever reason, when I passed Oakwood Avenue in Orange, New Jersey, that last house, that last building on the left, across from the park, I always look for that white handkerchief in the window. I love you, Nanny, and I miss you so very much. Rest in peace.